So today we're going to look at rounding decimals. We're going to look at rounding decimals to whole numbers, rounding decimals to one decimal place, and knowing whether to round up or down. I'm going to talk you through the MyMaths lesson, and then you can have a go at the MyMaths homework. I'll also do a little video on the MyMaths homework, how to do that, because some people might need a little bit of extra support. You don't have to watch that video, but that's the first place you should go if you get stuck with the MyMaths homework. And also, it's not like I'm giving you the answers, because when you get your questions, they'll be slightly different. So let's begin. So round 6.9 to the nearest whole number. Okay, so it's between 6 and 7 on the number line. There's 6, there's 7. And there's 6.5, which is halfway. And if we put 6.9 on, then we can see, here it is, it's much closer to that 7 than the 6. So it's much closer to 7. Okay, even though it starts with 6, it's much closer to the 7. Okay, so 4.1 to the nearest whole number. So the number line's got 4, 4.5, and a 5. So if we move this marker, so it's 4.1, we can straight away see that it's closer to the 4 than it is to the 5. So to the nearest whole number, it's 4. Just have a look which one it's closer to. Okay. You can also think about this being whole numbers, this being in the 10th column. If something in the 10th column is less than 5, then we're going to round down. Okay, so let's have a look at rounding something to one decimal place. So this number, 1.69, lies between 1.6 and 1.7 on the number line. There's 1.65, which is halfway between, and if we mark on where 1.69 is, you can see it's much closer to the 1.7. So to one decimal place, it's 1.7. Okay, 8.79 to one decimal place. So I've got on my number line 8.7, 8.75, which is halfway between 8.7 and 8.8. So 8.79, you can see it's much closer to the 8.8 than it is to the 8.7. So 8.8. Then the next column along we're looking at is the hundredths column. If that is 5 or bigger, we're going to round up. If it was 4 or less, we'd round down. Okay, next. So let's have a look at 1.5 rounded to the nearest whole number. So here's our number line. It's got a 1 and a 2 on it. And there's 1.5 right in the middle. So is it close to 1 or 2? Well, it's the same distance from each, isn't it? So there's a rule. When it's exactly in the middle, we always round up. Okay, so 1.5 to the nearest whole number, we're going to round up to 2. Okay, let's have a look. 4.35, that's one decimal place. So if I move it on the number line to 4.35, you can see it's exactly in between 4.3 and 4.4. And the rule is when it's exactly in the middle, you always round up. So I'm going to round it up to 4.4. There we go. When it's a 5 in the column, we round it up. Okay, next. So I'm going to have a bunch of questions now to do in 2 minutes. I'm going to not rush. I'm going to sort of talk over them as I do it. Some might be straightforward questions. I might not talk much. Some might be more interesting questions. I might talk about some key points, how to do them. But I will be very interested to see if anybody can beat whatever score I get now. And I'd be giving people merits and things if you take a screenshot and sort of show me in Microsoft Teams higher score. Okay, so let's make a little competition of it. So answer as many as you can in 2 minutes. So 8.5, the whole number. So you got to remember when it's exactly in the middle, we're going to round up. 9.55 to one decimal place. So there's a 5 in the hundredths column, which means that bit's exactly in the middle, which means I'm going to round up to 9.6. 8.9 is the nearest whole number. It's between 8 and 9. It's much closer to 9 though. 2.764 is the nearest whole number. So if you think about that in the number line, it's above 2.5. If there's 5 or above in the tenths column, I'm going to round up. So 3. 1 decimal place, 8.96. So it's going to round up. So it's going to go to 9.0. Okay, it's important to put the 0.0 in because it shows we've rounded it to 1 decimal place and not just the nearest whole number. 2.394 nearest decimal place. So we look in the hundredths column, it's 5 or above, which means we'll round it up to 2.4. Nearest whole number, 4.59. It's 5 in the tenths column, which means we round it up. Okay, I'll go a little bit quicker now to try to get a bit of a better score. So 2.39. Had this one before. 5.0. 9.2. 2.4. 2.4. 4.6. 4. Okay, so 15 is you can see I talked quite a lot over that, so it slowed me down quite a bit. I'm sure that you could go on this lesson and get a much better score yourself. Okay, now what I want you to do is have a go at this game to practice rounding decimals and then have a go at the homework. And if you get stuck with the homework, I've made a homework video as well. And if you're still stuck, then you can ask on Microsoft Teams. Okay, but just try to look back over this and think about how we round decimals. And if you get stuck, ask. Okay.